every year is how turtle flew south for the winter. So, how many of you ever seen a turtle fly? Let me tell you about this one. So, it was the time of year that the leaves are falling from the trees. And Turtle, he was out in the woods, walking through the woods, a beautiful fall day, enjoying the sun beating down on his shell. And he was just walking through and just enjoying everything. And as he's walking, he starts hearing the birds up in the trees chattering away. So he gets a little curious and he says, "Hey, what's happening?" And the birds said, "We're getting ready to fly south for the winter." And Turtle says, "Well, what you want to do that for?" And the birds said, "Don't you know anything? Soon winter will come and there won't be any food for us to eat. But down south where summer lives, they have lots of food." Well, just as soon as they said that, Turtle says, "I'm ready to go. Take me with you. I want to go down south where summer lives and keeps all that food." And the birds looked at him and said, "You're a turtle. You can't fly. You have to be able to fly to go down south where summer lives and keeps all that food." And turtle says, "But I just have to go with you. You have to take me. I have to go. You've got to find a way to take me. I have to go down south where summer lives and keeps all that food." So the birds start thinking about it and thinking. And so one bird comes up and he says, "I got an idea. Can you grab onto the middle of this stick and not let it go?" Turtle said, "Hey, when I grab hold of something, I don't turn it loose till I'm good and ready." So the bird said, "Well, if you grab onto the middle of the stick, we'll get two big birds to get on each end of it, and they ought to be able to lift you off the ground and take you with us." Turtle said, "Let's go. I'm ready to go down south where summer lives and keeps all that food." Turtle bit onto the middle of that stick, and these two big birds got on each end of it, and they started flapping their wings harder and harder and harder until finally they lifted Turtle up off the ground. Well, Turtle had never been off the ground before. He starts looking around, and as the higher up they got, the smaller everything on the ground started to look. And he starts thinking to himself, "I wonder how long it's going to take to get down south where summer lives and keeps all this food. I sure hope these birds are going to talk to me." So he starts rolling his eyes. Birds get right on flying. They didn't pay him any attention. Turtle thinks, "Well, if they're going to take me down south where summer lives and keeps all that food, they could tell me how long it's going to take to get there. Why don't they just tell me that?" So he starts waving his legs. Birds kept right on flying. They didn't pay him any mind. Now, Turtle, he's starting to get a little bit upset. He thinks, if they're going to take me down south where summer lives and keeps all that food, they could tell me how long it's going to take to get there. They could tell me about those mountains over there. Birds totally ignored him. They kept right on flying. And Turtle, he just was beside himself. They could tell me, how long is it going to take? The mountains, the pond. I need to know. Why don't you listen to? But just as soon as he opened his mouth to speak, what did he have to do? Let go of that stick. And when he did, down he fell a long way. And when he hit the ground, it was a wonder he hadn't been killed. His shell was cracked. He ached all over from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. And he turned and he saw that pond. And slowly he started crawling over to that pond. When he got there, he crawled in and swam down to the bottom to get as far away from the sky as he could possibly get. And he dug down deep into the mud and he went to sleep. And he slept there all through the winter. And he didn't wake up again until the next spring. So that's why it is today that only birds fly south where summer lives and keeps all that food, and turtles, who have all those cracked shells now and walk so slow, sleep all through the winter. So with that story, what do you think you learned from that, or what could the children have learned from that? Who migrates and flies south? Birds. And turtles, they do what? They hibernate for the winter. And so that's how a simple story about birds and a turtle could teach the children about what those animals do during certain times of the year.